Which type of wood frame construction is most commonly used? A. Balloon. B. Platform. C. Post and beam. D. Mat and raft.
The correct answer is B. Platform.
What type of insulating material may be used that also provides a vapor barrier? A. Reflective. B. Rigid. C. Flexible. D. Foam.
The correct answer is C. Flexible. Flexible insulation is encased in kraft paper lined with plastic that provides protection against moisture.
An unrecorded deed is A. Invalid. B. Valid. C. Illegal. D. Worthless.
The correct answer is B. Valid. A deed does not have to be recorded to be valid.
Prorated interest on an assumed mortgage loan that is to be paid by the buyer at closing of the transaction would appear on the closing statement as A. Debit to the seller. B. Debit to the buyer. C. Debit to the seller and a credit to the buyer. D. Debit to the buyer and a credit to the seller.
The correct answer is C. Debit to the seller and a credit to the buyer.
Broker Bob receives a full-price offer a short time after listing Pat's home. At the moment that Pat accepts the offer, A. A valid contract exists. B. Broker Bob as escrow agent controls the binder deposit. C. Broker Bob, Pat, and the buyer are parties to the contract that has been created. D. There is an offer and acceptance, but not a valid contract.
The correct answer is D. There is an offer and acceptance, but not a valid contract. There has been no communication of acceptance to the buyer at the moment Pat accepted the offer, and until communication takes place, a valid contract has not been created.
Which of the following persons can sell real estate? A. A salaried employee of a corporation for profit. B. An unlicensed partner in a partnership formed to buy and sell real estate. C. Your next-door neighbor. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above. A salaried employee of corporation and a partner in a partnership receiving profits proportionate to his or her ownership are both exempt from the real estate license law. Your next-door neighbor can sell his or her own real estate.
If a real estate broker violates a fiduciary duty imposed by a listing contract, A. The broker's license will be suspended for 90 days. B. The license will be revoked. C. The Florida Real Estate Commission will take no action until a violation of the real estate license law occurs. D. The matter must be investigated before the broker can be disciplined.
The correct answer is D. The matter must be investigated before the broker can be disciplined. No disciplinary action may be imposed by the Florida Real Estate Commission until proper investigation and a hearing supports the action.
Alan gave his friend Clarence a power of attorney when he was relocated by his employer to Orlando. Clarence located a buyer for Alan's home at a good price, and since he was an attorney, charged Alan a commission of 5% at closing of the sale. Based on this information, which of the following applies? A. Clarence can be prosecuted for violation of the real estate license law. B. Clarence did not violate the real estate license law because he acted within the scope of his duties as an attorney. C. Clarence did not violate the law since he had been given power of attorney to act for Alan. D. An attorney cannot be given power of attorney to sell real estate.
The correct answer is A. Clarence can be prosecuted for violation of the real estate license law. Attorneys at law and attorneys in fact must have real estate licenses in order to be compensated for services of real estate.
Confidential relationships, A, may exist when there is a mistrust between the parties. B, may exist when the parties do not personally like each other. C, are established by law. D, all of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above. Fiduciary duties are imposed by law in an agency relationship, but apply only to business, not to personal relationships.
Millie, a licensed sales associate, negotiated the sale of an owner's property to a buyer. The contract stated that Millie's broker was to receive 50% of the binder deposit if the buyer defaulted. If the buyer later defaulted and the broker did nothing to retain his or her portion of the deposit, what is Millie's best course of action? A, sue the seller for her share of the deposit. B, file suit in a court of law and split any money received with the broker. C, sue the broker for her share of the deposit. D, sue the seller and the broker for her share of the deposit.
The correct answer is C, sue the broker for her share of the deposit. A sales associate may only sue his or her registered employer to enforce collection of money due from the employer.
Ed meets Sharon on the street and says, "My house is for sale. I wish I could find a buyer." Sharon gets the price and description of the property and takes Alice to look at the house. Alice makes an offer on the property which is accepted by Ed. Assuming nothing not stated here, which of the following statements best applies? A, Sharon must be an actively licensed broker. B, the real estate license law was not violated. C, Sharon must be an actively licensed sales associate. D, Sharon could not legally sell to Alice.
The correct answer is B. The real estate license law was not violated. No mention of compensation was made, therefore no violation of license law has occurred.
The Florida Real Estate Commission has discovered that an applicant cheated on the state real estate exam for sales associate. Which applies? A, the license will be suspended. B, the application will be denied. C, the application will be put on hold. D, the license will be suspended pending a hearing.
The correct answer is B. The application will be denied. Suspension would only apply to someone who is already licensed.
Stan needs to raise some money and offers a mortgage and note to Dan, using his 99-year lease on an office building as security for the loan. The mortgage and note is to be paid off from rental collections over the next 5 years. If Dan is able to sell the mortgage and note for a profit of $5,000, which of the following statements applies? A, Dan has violated the real estate license law. B, this is an illegal conspiracy by Stan and Dan. C, the real estate license law has not been violated. D, Dan should be a licensed real estate broker to engage in this activity.
The correct answer is C. The real estate license law has not been violated. The profit was made by selling a mortgage and note, which is not a service of real estate.
What action can the Department of Business and Professional Regulation take after a proper investigation has determined that a party is performing services of real estate in a manner resulting in damage to the public? A, suspend the party's license. B, revoke the party's license. C, apply for an injunction. D, do nothing.
The correct answer is C. Apply for an injunction. This would be an appropriate action since the word party in the question does not indicate this person has a real estate license.
If a defendant seeks testimony from a witness in a formal hearing, A, the administrative law judge may be requested to subpoena the witness. B. The defendant may issue a subpoena to the witness. C. The defendant may petition to have the witness appear. D. The DBPR investigator may subpoena the witness.
The correct answer is A. The administrative law judge may be requested to subpoena the witness. Administrative law judges, Department of Business and Professional Regulation, and the courts may issue subpoenas. Department of Business and Professional Regulation investigators do not have this authority.
The primary responsibility of a real estate sales associate is to A. His or her broker. B. His or her employer. C. The Florida Real Estate Commission. D. The Department of Business and Professional Regulation.
The correct answer is B. His or her employer. A real estate sales associate may be employed by either a broker or an owner-employer.
Charlie, a licensed sales associate, took copies of his broker's records and listings from the office when his employment was terminated. Charlie could be charged with A. Larceny, B. Breach of trust and bad faith, C. Culpable negligence, D. Failure to account.
The correct answer is B. Breach of trust and bad faith. Taking original records or listings would be considered larceny.
How long may a licensee remain in an involuntary inactive status? A. 2 years. B. 4 years. C. 5 years. D. Indefinitely.
The correct answer is A. 2 years. Only a voluntarily inactive licensee may remain inactive for an indefinite period.
Which of the following, when received as a binder deposit, does not have to be specifically disclosed by a broker to the seller? A. Cash. B. A personal check. C. A cashier's check. D. A promissory note or a post-dated check.
The correct answer is A. Cash. If anything other than cash has been received, the broker must inform the seller the exact nature of the deposit.
A DBPR audit of Broker Bernie's escrow account on March 1st indicated a balance of $22,000. On the day of the audit, Broker Bernie had a number of pending sales with deposits related to these transactions totaling $40,000. If Bernie's commissions on the pending sales amounted to $18,000, which of the following statements would be true? A. Since the account balance and commissions totaled $40,000, there is no violation of the law. B. Bernie could be charged with failure to account. C. An administrative complaint could be filed against Bernie. D. Bernie is guilty of embezzlement.
The correct answer is C. An administrative complaint could be filed against Bernie. Failure to account would not apply until closing, when the broker could not produce the funds. There is a violation since the balance in the escrow account does not equal the deposits. Brokers cannot withdraw their commissions from escrow prior to closing.
A broker whose license has been suspended by the Florida Real Estate Commission may appeal the final order by filing a writ of mandamus, B. Petition for review, C. Bill of interpleader, D. Declaratory decree.
The correct answer is B. A petition for review. A writ of mandamus is an order of a court ordering a lower body to act. A bill of interpleader or a declaratory decree may be used by a broker to resolve disputes involving the escrow account.
Who does a broker owe fiduciary duties to? A. The seller. B. The buyer. C. The principal. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is C. The principal. Fiduciary duties are created by law when a broker becomes a single agent. The principal could be either the seller or the buyer.
If Barbara passes the state examination for broker but chooses to continue operating under the direction and supervision of an active broker, she is considered to be a or an A. Broker, B. Sales associate, C. Broker associate, D. Employee.
The correct answer is C. Broker associate. An individual that passes the broker's state examination is qualified to open his or her own office. However, if the licensee registers under another broker or owner-employer, he or she will be registered as a broker associate.
Brokers Tim and Dave agreed to allow Broker Sam to share office space with them. While Broker Sam was in the process of moving into the office, and prior to his putting up his office sign, a customer came in and asked to be shown some property. If Sam unintentionally defrauded the customer, which of the following statements best applies? A. Brokers Tim and Dave were not liable for Sam's fraudulent act. B. Broker Sam alone was liable for defrauding the customer. C. An ostensible partnership was created and brokers Tim, Dave, and Sam were liable for the acts of each other. D. The real estate license law was not violated because Broker Sam's act of fraud was unintentional.
The correct answer is C. An ostensible partnership was created, and brokers Tim, Dave, and Sam were liable for the acts of each other. Since Broker Sam did not have a sign on or about the door to the office, an ostensible partnership was created as the customer could be misled into believing the three brokers were partners. Consequently, all three brokers become liable for the fraud.
If a licensee is confined to a mental institution for 5 years, his or her license will probably be A. Revoked, B. Suspended for at least 10 years, C. Revoked for the period of incapacity, D. Suspended for the period of confinement.
The correct answer is D. Suspended for the period of confinement. Suspension is considered to be a temporary penalty. Confinement for 5 years would be considered temporary since it is less than the 10-year maximum period for suspension.
Broker Susan's friend Amy, who lives in Chicago, occasionally refers customers to her. Amy has placed ads for customers in the newspaper and has made numerous long-distance calls to Susan regarding responses to the ads. If Susan reimburses Amy for her expenses but does not compensate her in any other manner, which of the following statements best applies? A. No violation occurred if Susan only paid Amy's expenses. B. Susan and Amy have both violated the real estate license law. C. This is a legal arrangement if Amy does not accompany the prospects to Florida. D. Only Susan has violated the real estate license law by paying Amy's expenses.
The correct answer is B. Susan and Amy have both violated the real estate license law. A Florida broker cannot pay an unlicensed person anything in connection with the services of real estate.
When a citation has been issued to a real estate broker, A. It concerns a violation by the licensee that did not endanger the public health, safety, or welfare. B. It becomes a final order of the FREC if the licensee does not dispute the subject matter of the citation. C. The licensee may refuse to accept the citation and request a hearing. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
If a licensee does not renew his or her license on or before the expiration date, the license will A. Automatically become involuntarily inactive. B. Automatically become voluntarily inactive. C. Be suspended. D. Be revoked.
The correct answer is A. Automatically become involuntarily inactive. Licenses that are not renewed at the end of the license period automatically revert to involuntarily inactive status.
The Florida Real Estate Commission is essentially an A. Policymaking agency, B. Educational agency, C. Consumer protection agency, D. Professional regulating agency.
The correct answer is C. Consumer Protection Agency.
If an owner instructs a broker not to show his home to minority customers because they will not be able to afford the property, the broker's proper response should be A. Our firm will not be able to help you. B. We will honor your request and not present or show your home to minority customers. C. Your request is a violation of the Fair Housing Act, and my office cannot list or sell your property. D. You will have to sell your home yourself because no brokerage firm can legally obey your instruction.
The correct answer is C. Your request is a violation of the Fair Housing Act. My office cannot list or sell your property. When presented with an illegal instruction such as this, the broker must first explain the request is a violation of law. If the party persists, the broker must withdraw.
Members of the Florida Real Estate Commission are A. Appointed by the Governor and confirmed by the Senate, B. Appointed by the Secretary of the DBPR, C. Elected to 4-year terms, D. Elected in a general election and confirmed by the Governor.
The correct answer is A. Appointed by the Governor, confirmed by the Senate. Commission members are appointed, not elected.
How many years of active licensure are required to qualify for appointment as a broker member of the Florida Real Estate Commission? A. 2, B. 3, C. 4, D. 5.
The correct answer is A. 2 years. 4 members of the Commission must be brokers who have held an active license for 5 years preceding their appointment. However, the 5th licensee member may be either a broker or sales associate who's held an active license for at least 2 years preceding appointment.
When may an applicant who has passed the state examination for sales associate begin performing real estate services for compensation? A. When he or she has passed the examination with a score of 75 or more. B. Immediately after passing the examination if he or she had been actively licensed in another state. C. When the department has received a properly completed form signed by a prospective employer. D. As soon as the proper license fee has been paid and the examination has been passed.
The correct answer is C. When the department has received a properly completed form signed by a prospective employer.
Which of the following statements is true when a licensed sales associate has been convicted of a fraudulent act? A. The license must be revoked. B. The license may be suspended or revoked. C. A sales associate cannot be charged with fraud. D. The statute of frauds has been violated.
The correct answer is B. The license may be suspended or revoked. The Commission is not required to impose a specific penalty upon a licensee unless the violation includes payment from the Real Estate Recovery Fund due to improper acts of the licensee.
Moral turpitude is not present in A. Larceny, B. Embezzlement, C. Assault and battery, D. Bank robbery.
The correct answer is C. Assault and battery. Moral turpitude involves premeditation and conduct that is morally wrong, such as larceny, embezzlement, and bank robbery. Assault and battery is generally spontaneous.
State examinations are administered to applicants for licensure to measure their A. Knowledge of the material contained in the FREC handbook, B. Understanding of the real estate license law and certain federal laws, C. Ability to handle a real estate transaction with safety to the public, D. all of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above.
A Florida real estate license is A. Issued to persons that are registered and qualified. B. Evidence of licensure. C. Valid only in Florida. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above. Registration is accomplished by placing on record with the department a party's name and affiliation. Licenses are issued to those registered with the department qualified to receive them and are prima facie evidence of licensure. A Florida real estate license is only valid in this state.
The DBPR has investigated a complaint regarding a broker's activities and discovered an immediate serious danger to the public welfare exists. What action may the Secretary of the DBPR take? A. Cancel the broker's license and schedule a hearing. B. Immediately revoke the broker's license. C. Require the FREC to either suspend or revoke the broker's license. D. Issue a summary suspension of the broker's license.
The correct answer is D. Issue a summary suspension of the broker's license. A summary suspension is an emergency suspension imposed by the Secretary of the DBPR when an immediate serious danger exists to the public welfare.
Licenses are issued for a maximum period of A. 1 year, B. 2 years, C. 3 years, D. 4 years.
The correct answer is B, 2 years. All renewals of license are for no more than 2 years, although initial licenses may be for as little as 18 months.
Reimbursement from the Real Estate Recovery Fund to a person who has suffered damages in a real estate transaction can be made on behalf of A. A licensed broker or sales associate. B. A brokerage corporation or brokerage partnership. C. A brokerage general partnership or a brokerage limited partnership. D. Any of the above.
The correct answer is A. A licensed broker or sales associate. Payment can be made from the fund on behalf of individual brokers or sales associates only who held a valid and current license when the improper act was committed, not on behalf of a brokerage corporation or partnership.
If a broker has received an advance fee, A. At least 75% of all advance fees must be put into a separate advance fee escrow account. B. An advance fee report must be forwarded to the DBPR when requested. C. The principal must receive prior notification before funds are withdrawn from the advance fee escrow account and must be provided a quarterly accounting of all activity. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above.
A joint adventure most closely resembles which of the following? A. Limited partnership. B. Sole proprietorship. C. General partnership. D. Unincorporated association.
The correct answer is C, general partnership. A joint venture and partnership are similar, except that a joint venture is formed for a single or limited number of transactions.
Fraud and dishonest dealings by a licensee in a business transaction unrelated to real estate, A. Could be grounds for suspension or revocation of that person's license. B. Could result in an injunction or writ of mandamus. C. Will not affect that person's license unless it was a real estate transaction. D. Either A or B.
The correct answer is D, either A or B. All activities of a real estate licensee may be the basis for disciplinary action by the FREC, whether real estate related or not. The DBPR may seek an injunction or writ of mandamus to control illegal activity.
If an individual has passed the state examination for broker and was granted an inactive license, when may the individual perform the services of real estate for compensation? A. As soon as a proper request for renewal is received by the department. B. Immediately upon the license becoming current. C. Immediately if appointed as an officer of a brokerage corporation or member of a brokerage partnership. D. None of the above.
The correct answer is D, none of the above. An inactive licensee may not perform services of real estate for compensation.
If two or more owners form a business organization by means of either an oral or written agreement concerning the distribution of profits and losses, the business is A. Limited partnership. B. General partnership. C. Business trust or syndicate. D. Corporation for profit.
The correct answer is B, general partnership. A general partnership agreement may be oral or written, but written documents are required to form corporations, business trusts, or limited partnerships.
If an applicant submits an application to take the state examination for sales associate, A. The applicant must be advised of the right to a hearing if the application is denied. B. The applicant must be allowed to take the state examination if the application is not denied. C. The department has 30 days to advise an applicant of an error or omission. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D, all of the above.
An individual may be licensed as a broker and sales associate at the same time. A. Only if he or she is a broker sales associate. B. When he or she has received multiple licenses. C. If both licenses are registered under the same broker or owner-employer. D. None of the above.
The correct answer is D, none of the above. A person may have only one license status at any given time.
When a broker's license has been suspended, sales associates registered with the broker, A. May continue to operate under the broker's license with approval of the DBPR. B. Must register under another broker before performing the services of real estate for compensation. C. May not participate in licensed activities until the broker's license is reinstated. D. Will have their licenses placed on involuntarily inactive status or suspended at the option of the Commission.
The correct answer is B, must register under another broker before performing the services of real estate for compensation. Sales associates must be registered under a properly licensed or registered employer.
Which of the following documents are available for public inspection? A. Copies of state examination questions and answers for broker and sales associate. B. Reports of the DBPR investigators prior to probable cause being determined. C. Real estate school transcripts. D. None of the above.
The correct answer is D, none of the above. Investigator reports prior to finding of probable cause, real estate school transcripts, and state exam questions and answers are all confidential.
How many days do the parties have to file exceptions to the administrative law judge's recommended order at the conclusion of a formal hearing? A. 3. B. 7. C. 15. D. 20.
The correct answer is C, 15.
Who may employ a real estate sales associate? A. An active broker. B. An owner individual. C. An owner corporation or owner partnership. D. Any of the above.
The correct answer is D, any of the above. An owner individual, owner corporation, and owner partnership are simply different types of owner employers.
If a broker was sentenced to prison for bank robbery, A. This is prima facie grounds for suspension or revocation of the broker's license after a hearing justifies the action. B. The FREC cannot discipline the broker for crimes unrelated to real estate. C. The FREC will issue a summary suspension of the license. D. The FREC will revoke the broker's license for the period of confinement.
The correct answer is A. This is prima facie grounds for suspension or revocation of the broker's license after a hearing justifies the action. The purpose of the license law is to protect the public. Therefore, the FREC may discipline a licensee for acts unrelated to real estate, but only after a hearing justifies the action.
Which of the following do not have to provide information or records to the Florida Real Estate Commission? A. An individual who is an applicant for licensure. B. Anyone who is a licensed broker or sales associate. C. Persons who are neither licensees nor applicants for licensure. D. Anyone licensed as a Florida broker or sales associate who resides in another state.
The correct answer is C. Persons who are neither licensees nor applicants. The FREC has no jurisdiction over unlicensed persons unless they're an applicant for licensure. The DBPR, however, has civil jurisdiction over unlicensed persons that are in violation of any law or rule under its jurisdiction.
Broker Andrew accepted a diamond ring from a buyer as a binder deposit without the knowledge or consent of the seller. The seller and buyer enter into a contract, but the buyer later defaults and demands that the ring be returned. Broker Andrew could be charged with A. Conversion, B. Concealment, C. Conspiracy, D. Culpable negligence.
The correct answer is B. Concealment. The broker withheld information from the seller that the broker was required to disclose.
Once a purchase and sale contract has been executed by both parties, the earnest money deposit is under the control of the A. Buyer only, B. Seller only, C. Seller and buyer, D. Buyer, seller, and broker.
The correct answer is C. Seller and buyer. Prior to execution of the contract by both parties, the deposit belongs to the buyer. Once an offer becomes a contract, however, both buyer and seller control the deposit. The broker may have physical possession, but the law dictates how the escrow deposit is to be handled.
If a licensee believes that he or she has been adversely affected by a rule of the Commission, he or she could A. File a petition with the DBPR, B. File an appeal with the District Court of Appeal, C. File a petition with the Division of Administrative Hearings, D. Request a formal hearing before the FREC.
The correct answer is C. File a petition with the Division of Administrative Hearings. Any licensee that feels they're being adversely affected by a rule of the Commission has a right to file a petition for a hearing before the Division of Administrative Hearings.
Jack is a sales associate in Broker Marsher's office. Jack obtained a listing on Ben's home on October 1st. Broker Marsher later discovered that Jack's real estate license had expired on September 30th and had him immediately submit a renewal request form to the DBPR. The property sold on October 20th for the full listed price. Based on this information, which of the following statements is correct? A. Ben does not have to pay a commission. B. Ben owes Marsher her share of the commission, but does not have to pay Ben's share. C. Ben owes a full commission to Marsha. D. The real estate license law was not violated because Broker Marsher mailed the renewal request immediately.
The correct answer is A. Ben does not have to pay a commission. The broker allowed an unlicensed person to perform a service of real estate, which is a violation of license law. The broker is required to properly supervise the activities of sales associates and loses any right to compensation in a transaction if a violation of law occurs.
Broker Tom advertised apartments for rent for $400 per month, including utilities. Tenant Brown responded to the ad and rented one of the apartments and paid Broker Tom $100 for his service. Later, Tom discovered that the rent did not include utilities. Which of the following is true in this situation? A. The broker is probably guilty of a first-degree misdemeanor. B. Tom can demand a refund of $75 within 30 days of the date of the receipt. C. Tom can demand a refund of $100 within 30 days of the date of the receipt. D. Both A and C are correct.
The correct answer is D. Both A and C are correct. Violation of the rules concerning fees charged for rentals is a misdemeanor of the first degree. When a broker advertises rental property lists and provides materially incorrect information to a prospective tenant, the applicant may request within 30 days of date of the receipt a refund of 100% of the fee paid. If the tenant simply does not accept a rental, a request for a refund of 75% of the fee paid may be made within 30 days of date of the receipt.
When will a witness be in violation of a subpoena? A. When he or she fails to appear as ordered. B. When false testimony is given. C. When services of real estate have been performed without a license. D. If the witness is disorderly at a hearing.
The correct answer is A. When he or she fails to appear as ordered. A subpoena orders a witness to appear at a certain time and place. Giving false testimony could lead to a charge of perjury.
Who is ineligible to collect from the Real Estate Recovery Fund? A. The spouse of a judgment debtor. B. A person who waits more than 4 years after the date of the licensee's fraudulent act to file a claim. C. A broker or sales associate who acted as agent in the transaction that is the subject of the claim. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
Which of the following is incorrect regarding a formal hearing? A. Oral evidence may be introduced. B. Depositions may not be introduced into evidence. C. The administrative law judge has the power to issue subpoenas. D. The recommended order is not binding on the Commission.
The correct answer is B. Depositions may not be introduced in evidence. Oral evidence may be allowed. The administrative law judge does have the power to issue subpoenas, and the Commission may reject or modify the recommended order.
The relationship between a broker and a customer may best be described by which of the following? A. Fiduciary duties apply. B. They must deal at arm's length. C. The customer can rely on all material statements made by the broker. D. Caveat emptor applies.
The correct answer is C. The customer can rely on all material statements made by the broker. Caveat emptor and dealing at arm's length apply between seller and buyer who are adversaries. The broker must deal honestly and fairly with customers, but does not have a fiduciary relationship with them.
If broker Sarah discovers there is a mechanic's lien on a property she has listed, she A. Must disclose the lien to prospective buyers before a contract is signed. B. Should disclose the lien to all prospective buyers before accepting a deposit. C. Is not required to disclose the lien to anyone if it has been recorded in the public records. D. Should not mention the lien unless asked to do so by a prospect.
The correct answer is B. Should disclose the lien before accepting a deposit. The buyer should not be allowed to have any money at risk until all material facts about the property have been disclosed.
When a developer of a subdivision conveys a roadway to the county, it is called a or an. A. dedication. B. Alienation. C. Goodwill gesture. D. Development easement.
The correct answer is A. Dedication.
Two active brokers and an inactive broker have requested registration for a new business they have formed called Adventure Real Estate Company. They have formed a or an A. Joint venture, B. Limited partnership, C. Corporation, D. Unincorporated association.
The correct answer is C. Corporation. Only a corporation may use the word company in its name.
When Jones listed his home with broker Sam, he gave him an advance listing fee of $300 to advertise the property. Which of the following is true? A. Sam must refund any unused portion of the fee when the account is closed. B. The account must be closed if the listing expires after 18 months or if the property sells, whichever occurs first. C. Sam must place $225 of the money in a separate advance fee escrow account. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above. The broker must place 75% of the fee in an advance fee escrow account to be used only for the benefit of the principal. The account must be closed if the property is sold, the listing expires, or 18 months has elapsed, whichever occurs first. Any unused money must be returned to the principal.
Broker Wayne may have forfeited his commission if A. He operated as a dual agent in a transaction. B. He acted as a transaction broker when employed as a single agent and failed to have a transition to transaction broker notice initialed or signed. C. He did not have the permission of a party to perform services for them. D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above.
Customer Tony offers $60,000 on Charlie's home. Tony indicated to sales associate John, licensed with broker Janet, that he would probably pay the full price if he had to. If broker Janet was acting as a single agent and listed Charlie's home for $75,000, John's proper course of action is to A. Immediately submit the $60,000 offer to Charlie. B. Submit the $60,000 offer and tell Charlie that Tony may pay the full listed price. C. Refuse to submit the $60,000 and wait for Tony to increase his offer. D. Contact Charlie and tell him his property has been sold for $60,000.
The correct answer is B. Submit the $60,000 offer and tell Charlie that Tony may pay the full listed price. A broker must disclose to the principal any information that is material to the principal's decision.
Brokers Nancy and Mildred met at a country club and were discussing raising their commission rates due to increased costs of doing business. This violates A. Florida's antitrust laws, B. Florida Statute 475, C. The Sherman-Clayton Antitrust Act, D. All of the above.
The correct answer is D. All of the above. This involves an attempt to fix prices for services, which is a violation of both state and federal antitrust law, which is also a violation of Florida Statute 475, the Florida Real Estate License Law.
Brokers Tim and Ron and sales associate Sally buy and develop 100 acres of land together with equal and undivided interests. Sales of the subdivided lots progress nicely and the partnership earns profits of $30,000, with each partner taking $10,000. Which applies? A. No violation occurred since each partner received $10,000 of the profits. B. This arrangement is a violation of license law since Sally is not a broker. C. Sally cannot receive any portion of the profits since she is only a sales associate. D. Sally cannot be a partner and comply with the law.
The correct answer is A. This is a legal arrangement since each partner received $10,000 of the profit. Since they're developing the property themselves and not acting as agents, Sally may be a partner if she only receives her proportional share of the profits. This concludes CD number 3.